Hey guys, how's it going? So I figured I'd go ahead and talk a little bit about what I did with this account as far as it being a fresh account. So the reason why I wanted to do this video and or make this account in the first place was for two reasons for the account. One was to kind of play, since I'm doing these videos in this playlist series, I wanted to kind of play and see what kind of mistakes I was seeing most people make. And that's kind of where the quick tips kind of just sort of spawned, because I couldn't cover all the basics and everything and strategy, you know, in one thing. And I can't think of everything. So that's one reason why I made the account, so that I could kind of play and see what's going on. Secondly, I wanted to kind of prove that there isn't really heavy pay to win in this game. Now, I define pay to win as if on day one you can spend money to even gain, if you gain by spending money, let's say 100 zeros, 1%, that marginal, that small of a, you can't even see the space between my fingers, that marginal advantage over the next guy who doesn't spend any money, then that's pay to win. Even if it took you to gain that marginal advantage, it took you like $1,000, that is pay to win in my book, because there is something to be gained by spending money. So by that definition, yes, it is. But again, I've made it to A with this account. That was the second goal with this, to push it to A and kind of show that there is some skill in pushing rather than just parts and suits. Parts and suits do play a big role, especially if you go back and watch my last day there of like pushing. I pushed it pretty late. It was like 4:30 when we finally hit it. So I don't know when I'm gonna do this, but I think I might add it either now or show it at the beginning. But yeah, it was the thing. But we finally did it. We got the A, and then I went to bed. But somewhere there, I got the level 2 firing program, and you could definitely see an improvement in my games there that last day. So parts do help, and parts do matter. You take two people, same suit, same skill. The one with the parts is going to be the guy without parts. I mean, that's how it works. I noticed this early on myself when we didn't have this acceleration of, having a corporal in like less than a week. It took me 2 to 3 months, and I was no-lifing this game pretty hard. So yeah, these days you can do the same thing what took 2 to 3 months in less than a week. That is pretty nice. And really, either they need to bring some of the parts down in rank needed, or they just need to accelerate it a little bit more, just a little bit, to get to that firing program 3 and or 4. It really starts feeling comfortable when you get to firing program 3 and unlock a lot of the defensive, like level 2 stuff. Other than that, though, I would say getting some of the maneuverability, quick loaders, and the beam equivalent of the quick loaders. I forget what that's called right off the top of my head. Stuff like that. We made it all the way to A here the other day. So I have played essentially, so yeah, there it is. But I've played 5 days, 4 days. 4 days and then 2 days of dailies. So 4 stream days and then 2 days of dailies. And got it up to, so essentially 6 days. The whole goal was to do it within 7 days, or in the first week even. But, I did other things, and, fair enough. But the thing is, in under 7 play days, essentially, we got it up to A. I got kind of lucky in a couple of my drops here and whatnot. But the main part is, really, for 450s, I played pretty much the full armor exclusively. 400s every now and then. Even 450s I would raid with the Pixie. I think I had a couple of ground type, but that was pretty much it for this cost. When we got to 350, I was rocking the gun cannon mass production 300 cost, or even the Zaku cannon 300 cost. Now, again, I'm a support player, so I went my support route of getting what suits I needed. So first thing I went for was I got the Zaku cannon. I got it up to 300 cost, and I tried to get the MMP80 as I ranked up and could get it, which in like the first to second day, I was up to the private first classic to get the 4, but affording it was a different story. Took a little bit for that. With joining my clan and doing some stuff like that, I got the extra DP to go ahead and be able to afford what I needed. With that though, I did have, actually I don't think I ended up playing the Kamuf, but for raid types though, I did have a couple of those games. Picked up the Akai and the Goof. The Goof I got on the last day there because they had a 250, and just in case there was just too many supports, which I don't think there can be too many supports for life. But anyway, I picked up the Goof just to go ahead and take in as a raid if we needed one. And then the Akai is I think a great 200 cost. It actually is pretty high skill cap, is in the sense of that beam. If you miss it, it was pretty ripped. So most of my games though were 300 cost and below. To kind of confirm that, we can go here into the database and look at our play data, and we can go right down here, and here we go. We've got 15 in unlimited, and then 18 200, 22 250, 17 300, 10 350. Actually surprised I did that many. And then actually quite a few 450 cost with 36 games. Now, I will say probably most of those games came from the first day or the second day. So to be honest, at that point, it was probably using more of the ability to bully as a full armor at 450. As you can tell though, at 400, didn't really play too many times at 400, namely because that was the Pixie. So that's kind of a bummer if, you know, they have 350 to 450 games going on. But the higher the cost, the more that you're going to see for pay to win. Again though, you can do well without having to have the parts, but it even takes more skill and more decision making to kind of get you to that point, especially when you start getting up to B+, A-, and stuff like that, when you're going to be playing against people that do have a lot of parts because they're already Master Sergeant, Ensign, Lieutenant, stuff like that. Again, this was focusing on ground, so if you wanted to rank both space and ground up, you know, that's going to cost a bit more. Overall though, that was my buying strategy, is get the MP80 as high as possible and play pretty much nothing but the Zaku cannon all the way up to 300. And any games 300 and below, outstanding. 350, you could take the mass production or the Zaku cannon in, pretty good. But as far as actually being able to afford something at 350, kind of rough. I did play the BD1 a couple of times. Do recall doing that. But that was about it. Other than that, the Pixie is kind of solid. It's, you know, you still do your melee damage and you're going to be destroyed by generals either way if they catch you. So whether you're running the Pixie at 400 or 450 as a raid type, yeah, fair enough. And then the full armor is a very solid support type at 450 cost. Really awesome that they gave this out. If you are playing the game after they give out all these free suits and stuff, unless you get lucky in the 10 spin, your only option is to start off by buying up to the 300 cost Zaku cannon and pushing that way. That is as a support, I'll say that. but you buy up to whatever you can, and you just deal with it. So if you're doing general, you use those suits. If you're doing raids, you know, you're probably buying the GM Light, the Zaku 1, maybe the Goof, a couple levels or something. But those are your options, and you got to just make do with what you got. So they were pretty generous with the release, giving out 10 suits, and we did have some very solid choices that were given out. But anyway, just kind of wanted to talk about this a little bit. Again, addressing, you know, there is technical pay to win by my definition, but you can kind of overcome a lot of it, and it's not as bad as it used to be. You know, being a corporal already, and it's like not even a full 7 days played. That is insane. It took me like 2 months or 3 months, 2 to 3 months to get corporal, and between 3 and 6 months to get to master sergeant. But this was back in January when I started playing, so at that point you only had the 3 5 times dailies, and then you would just get, you know, 120 DP or XP a game or something like that. It wasn't much. You got more DP than you got XP. So yeah, you had hardly any XP a game, so just getting this 5,000 that you needed here to go to level 3 would have been 50 games played. And I have, what, 100 and something it said there? So, where's it at? 125, oh wait, that's times praised. 100 and quick matches, rated matches, 100, yeah, about 120 games played total. Back in the day, would have maybe ranked me up twice at this point. So, yeah, we've come a long way to be able to get that much XP that quickly. And to do it within a week's time, essentially, if I was to just, you know, no life this for a week. Yeah, feels pretty good these days. But anyway, guys, just want to talk about that. I'll link my stuff down below, Twitch, Discord, and whatnot. Like, comment, and subscribe, all that jazz. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace.